Hello and welcome to my workshop. The next phase we're going to be getting into will be mounting up all the links and the axles down to the chassis and getting a good feel for what we're going to need to modify any links, move anything around, and then after that work on getting the shocks and the tires all mounted up just to get a good feel for the chassis. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so we have our links all mounted up on the axles and ready to mount up onto the chassis. And then once we get that done, we can test the overall length of the wheelbase and make sure that's going to match up okay with the body we have. So let's get to that. So we have our shocks here, and we're going to go ahead and mount these up. And once we do that, then we can get a good feel for the wheelbase. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do something in the rear. I don't think this is going to have enough room to clear the body. Maybe a cantilever system, maybe some other kind of a shoulder shock. But for now, this will at least get us a feel for the overall wheelbase, and if we have to modify our links here. Alright, let's get these mounted up. So now that we have the links and axles and tires and the basic setup, the shocks all put on here, we get a good feel for the wheelbase, how this is going to be set up. We want to take and look at our body here and kind of get a good feel of where we want the center of the tire. Just kind of looking at here, I think ideally it would be right here at the front. I guess we could do the same thing. Just gonna sit this up in there, and guess just looking at the tire, you don't want too far forward, too far back. I think right in here. So we're looking at That's like 12 3/4. So we're looking at, so it's not quite, it's like 12 3/8. It's more than a half an inch. That's actually quite a bit to go, but we can get spacers and make these stick out a little bit longer. What we'll end up doing is making all the adjustments in the rear. We'll want to keep the front exactly the same. That way all the link geometry and everything, we don't have to redo any of the stuff that Axel's already done. We can just extend the back, and that should work out just fine. So now that we have the chassis put together, we're going to basically just strip everything off of the body that we can get off of it. Get down to the bare essentials of what's there. Interior, the roof, door handles, everything that can come off will come off. And we'll start to build the body back up into the shape that we're looking for with the Chief. So let's get to that. And so that's pretty far as we can get stripping things down. I think that's just about everything off of here. We'll have to start working on looking at ways to modify this top next. It has the bolt holes already in it and has the right height. And this post will have to get cut off and transferred over here because that post will stay. We'll probably cut along that line here around the back, take the window out and fill that in, and this whole portion will then get screwed permanently down and molded in with this body so that it becomes kind of one piece but just higher. We'll have to build some more, a little bit thickness on the inside to make it look realistic, probably close to what a door panel will be in there, maybe 5 or 6 millimeters or something in that ballpark. I hope you enjoyed that, and see you on the rocks.